Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another manga review. And today we're going to be taking a look at Fairy Tail Volume 49 from Hiro Mashima, which is actually the conclusion of the Tartarus Arc. So the last volume, we saw the defeat of Margir Tartarus, the leader of the whole evil guild, the Dark Guild, and just so many great moments. I mean, for one, they could have expanded a little bit more on this, but we saw Ziema return, the former master of Sabretooth, where he was reborn as a new demon, and he fought against Sting and Rogue, and they were able to defeat him and sort of move past their former master's teachings, how they were brought up only to win, and now they're all about family and friends. And then we had the battle with Urza versus Kyoka, and of course, how could I forget all the dragons appearing at the end there, where, Igneo was fighting Acnologia, and just as his face was detonating, we saw the appearance of Grandini and Metallicana, who just soared in and were destroying the face bombs. So the world has been saved. So like I said, this is the conclusion of the arc. The only villain left is Acnologia. So let's see how it ends. Great cover here with Natsu and Igneo. And I can't wait to show you. So this sort of gives you the tone as to what's going to happen in this volume. But, what is Lucy? Is she arresting Natsu there? But anyway. Here's all the dragons. Oh yeah, there was also, Skiadrum and Weisslogia. I think this one's called Weisslogia. He's the white dragon, the holy dragon that taught, Sting. And then this is Skiadrum, the shadow dragon who taught Rogue, who we thought they were dead, but you'll find out what happens later on. So here they all are. Face signal lost, so we saved the day. We have halted the resurrection of END. Oh, and also, what's his name? Ichiya showed up too in his airship. I thought that was a cool moment where he tried to destroy one of the face bombs but couldn't do anything, and then Grandini destroyed it for him. So here's all our heroes celebrating. And this guy, Framouth's still alive, I guess. But, Gray and Natsu are fighting over what to do with END because Gray was told by his father to destroy it, but Natsu was told by Igneo to bring it back to him. And Margir's like, oh, I've been defeated. What is going on? And then Natsu asks Igneo for an explanation as to how the hell he's even here. And he gives the whole explanation right here, which I'll just read to you. There are two reasons for that. The first was to prevent our dragon slayers from turning completely into dragons as Acnologia did. Because yes, Acnologia was once a human. And for the other, they continue their fighting. But he can't continue the story because he's fighting Acnologia. And it goes back to Natsu and Gray bickering about what to do with the book. And, Acnologia is like, you think I'm feared by you? What's rubbish? So, again, fighting over the book. And then, out of nowhere, the book is gone. What happened to the book? This book belongs to me. I'd have you return it. And everyone's just looking shocked. And it's fucking Zeref. It means a lot to me. He's taking the book back for himself. What are you doing here? And Zeref compliments Margir for his efforts. But in the end, turns him into a book. And they're like, what the fuck? You turned your little subject into a book right there? So, Zeref is taunting Natsu here, saying, what is Acnologia doing here? How will you manage to survive this hopeless situation? I will pass to you an even greater despair. And Zeref leaves with the book of END. So they're like, what the fuck now? What are we going to do? He's taking the book back for him. And you see, Acnologia's on top of Igneo right here. It's like, no, Igneo, you're alright. Come on, you got to survive. You got to tell me. Natsu's racing right there. And you see right here, look at this, man. They're fighting. And in a last-ditch effort, Igneo rips off the arm of Acnologia. And you see Natsu's face. But as he did that, Acnologia takes out half of Igneo, killing him. And the horror in Natsu's eyes seeing his father die by the hands of Acnologia. Just a heartbreaking scene right here with Igneo. You've gotten so big and strong. The days I spent with you were the happiest of my life. You gave me the strength that comes from loving someone. Ignil! Just a heartbreaking moment right there. And then Makarov, they still have this in the back of their pocket, I suppose, the Lumen Histoire. Well, you know, where they have Mavis's body, but this is also the ghost of Mavis who's talking to Makarov, and she's like, oh, we'll use it another time. So what's going to be the bigger threat to use this? Holy fuck, dude. But yeah, so with that, Actologia leaves, because I mean, he lost his arm, so I guess, you know, he's got to recover. There's blood gushing everywhere, but he killed Ignil. And then Zeref has the Book of E&D, so the battle's over, but a lot more questions that need to be answered. So they basically tell them the whole thing that Ignil started, where, you know, we were inside you so that you wouldn't fully become dragons. You got to reach a certain age, and then you can stay humans. And at some point, we had hoped to, you know, help you. So that's why they're here now. And then we get this joke where Metallicon, you got that evil glare. Shut up. But he kind of has an evil glare too. So, you know, they're just saying, oh, you've grown so well, and it's so great to see everybody. But then it cuts over here to Natsu, who's just crying, just distraught by what happened to his father. You promised, Dad. You promised you wouldn't go anywhere. You can't break your promises. I made lots of friends. I got lots more to tell you, Ignil. And Happy comes over here watching, crying. Just, oh my God, heartbreaking moment right there. And then, you know, the dragons all have to leave because they're hundreds of years old as well. You know, they've been around forever. And then just being encased in, you know, the guy's souls, in Natsu's soul, and Gajiel's soul, and Wendy's soul, etc. Using this power, they have to pass on. So with that, they're going to fly off and go to the afterlife, I suppose. So they say goodbye, and Wendy starts crying. And, you know, sad moments all around. So as Ignil's disappearing, I guess because he's speaking to him telepathically, I guess so. It says, don't cry, Natsu. You remember what I told you. When you're feeling sad, go on, try it. First you need to stand up. I'm always with you. I always have been. I always will be. So show me more. Show me how you keep growing. Show me how you live. I'm going to live a lot more, get a lot stronger. I'm going to take Actologia down. Natsu's all fired up. So everyone lost something during this arc, man. Natsu lost his father. Lucy lost Aquarius. There's the broken key. Gray got reunited with his father and then lost him again. Just a lot of consequences. You know, this series has received a lot of criticism for, you know, the power of friendship, obviously, and also in that there's a lot of fake-out deaths and not a whole lot of consequences. But in this arc particularly, there were quite a few deaths and actual consequences. So Makarov saying this is the end of the era. And, you know, Loxus has recovered. He was out of commission during the whole arc. Everyone's hugging him, and Wendy has her hair back to normal. You know, that was a cool plot point where she's like, I'm growing up, I'm cutting my hair. But, you know, Lucy's spirit here, Cancer, can make her hair grow back. So, there you go. And then you have the whole thing with Levy and Gajiel. And everyone's trying to move on from the traumatic events they experienced. But what happens with Natsu and Happy is they decide to leave. They have a letter here. We have this to worry about. There's the letter with the N for Natsu to leave behind. And then it cuts over here to Gray at the grave of his father. I guess he puts a new one here because Silver had a grave that said Mika and Gray. And then he crossed out Gray's name when he found out Gray was still alive. So Gray puts a cross here with Silver and Mika. And then Juvia shows up and tells Gray that she was the one who killed the Necromancer. And, you know, the Necromancer was the one keeping your father alive, but it was your father's last wish. And she says, I don't deserve to love you because I killed your father. I'm so sorry. And Gray, looking like he's going to, like, almost hit her. Like, how dare you? Grabs her. But, you know, puts his head down and starts crying. Thank you. I'm so sorry. And it's, oh man, just again, the traumatic moments, the sad moments here where they're just both crying, hugging each other. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. So then, Urza, who probably got the most beating in this whole arc, being tortured by Kyoka. She's just sitting by herself, just thinking about all her traumatic events. And Jalal shows up and walks past her, which, fucking Jalal. That was like a major plot point early on, too, where Jalal had recruited the Arashian Sace to battle Zareth. But then they never showed up again. I guess they're saving it for the last arc. But Jalal walks past Urza. And you see the rest of, the Arashian Sace wearing their crime and sorcier robes. And they've all joined. And Sorno here is like, I don't like these clothes. So, then for more optimistic, happy moments, we cut to Sabretooth, where Minerva has returned. And she starts crying, like, oh, I'm home. Oh, we're so happy to see you, Princess. Welcome back. And even Yukino is welcoming her back. All these people who Minerva was very cold to during the Grand Magic Games arc, but she's back. And then Makarov asks to speak to Dorenbolt alone here. And he says to Dorenbolt, your mission is complete. What do you mean? And Makarov burns off part of his shirt here and reveals a Fairy Tale Guild emblem. And we get this twist. You've been a Fairy Tale wizard from the start. And Makarov says that, because Dorenbolt has teleportation magic and he can also erase people's memories. And according to Makarov, he erased his own memories to infiltrate the council. But then when he infiltrated the council, he had, started infiltrating Fairy Tale. And it kind of confusing, but, I guess he's part of the Fairy Tale Guild as well. So with this, Makarov tells Dorenbolt, or Mest, that's his real name. I prefer the name Dorenbolt better, but his real name is Mest now. He tells him they're disbanding Fairy Tale. And then Lucy makes her way back home and finds the letter. But first she's looking, like, who's in my apartment? Quit barging in, would you? Because there's always intruders there. Be it Natsu, Gray, Urza, etc. But she sees the letter here and starts reading it. And it says, me and Happy are going on a training journey. We'll be back in a year. No, what is he doing? Taking off without me? Doesn't he know how lonely I'll be? Oh, poor Lucy, man. Look at her crying. Oh. So they all have their new resolves here, where Gray and Juvia say, I'm going to take down END. Urza is more optimistic. We have Loxus, Gajiel, Wendy, Mest, and Makarov. Spread your wings, you brats. So then, in the ultimate twist, Zareth sitting in his castle. Go on, try to surpass me, Natsu. Or should I say, END, Aetherius, Natsu, Dragneel. Dun dun dun. So is that what END stands for? Holy shit. Does that mean Natsu's a demon? The Aetherius, Natsu, Dragneel? Holy fuck. So it cuts over here to Gildarts, which they say for the chapter, the Silent Journey number 2. There was another silent issue with Gildarts where he's on an adventure, and because Natsu's going on his training journey, he runs into Gildarts and they have a happy time and tell each other what's going on. And it's a fun chapter. He's like, all right, challenge me, come on, Gildarts. And Natsu's trying, and Gildarts is the most powerful wizard in the whole guild. So this monster shows up, starts eating Natsu. Look at Happy's face. And with that, they part ways. And as they're parting ways, he sees a cloud and he thinks it's Kana. Look at him. But he gets into his backpack here and it's all this food. He's like, what? What's going on? And then Natsu goes into his backpack and has all these, what is this? The super sexy shock, which are Gildarts magazines. Give me back my magazines. And amongst it all has a picture of him with his daughter. Look at them. So then it cuts over here to Lucy, who, we just saw how upset she was that Natsu had left her. Beautiful, man. You guys know how much I love Lucy, but she really is beautiful, dude. Time to get out there and seize the day. So 1 year has passed now, and she's here at the Grand Magic Games. In the year that's passed, she's become a reporter working with Jason here, and they're covering the Grand Magic Games. And the announcers here, you have Mr. Yajima and this guy, I forget his name, who wears the toupee. But they're mentioning how, there's these different teams here because Fairy Tail obviously isn't competing, and neither is Sabretooth or any of the other more powerful teams, just because, Sabretooth and Fairy Tail aren't competing. Why would the others compete? They're all a bunch of jobbers. So they're reporting here, and again, this is a great chapter for me with Lucy and our expressions and jotting down notes, and she basically says, in this past year, I've had to find something to do. So it started as a pin-up model, and then Jason took me in to become a reporter. And then he acknowledges that she still has her guild emblem. And she's like, well, because I'm part of Fairy Tail. And he's like, well, it's disbanded, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. So she's been very depressed just thinking about what's going on. Here she is taking a bath. I miss you guys. Keep it down over there, would you? But in her free time, she's been reporting. But in her free time, she's also been looking at newspapers and stuff, trying to find out where everyone's been, looking for the ex-guildmates to try and put them back together at some point. And you see there's Urza, there's Gray, there's Gajiel, Kana, Droy, Biska, and Alzak. Oh, there's Plo. Plo! He's got the books for him. But no luck on Natsu or Happy. And she's just broken by this because, those were her best friends. Hasn't seen her talk to them for a year. So you get these guys trying to act all tough, and they won the Grand Magic Games, but the announcer's like, oh, there's some suspicious character entering the arena. Who is it? It's an intruder. And it's this hooded figure walking in, and the place starts to heat up. I'm the challenger. And the whole thing is being set ablaze. Everyone's starting to sweat. Lucy's shirt is getting burned off. And it's fucking Natsu. Look at him. He's ready to challenge. Look at this dude. He's got like longer hair. He's wearing all tattered robes. His scarf's still on. Natsu's here. And then Happy. Long time no see. Lucy, what are you doing here, Happy? Oh, Natsu. I'm all fired up. And then the two of them see each other and look at... Oh, it's Lucy. Yo, been a while, huh, Lucy? Oh my god, the reunion. So because of this, because Natsu crashed the party, he's been taken in by the king, being asked questions. What did you do? But the king likes Natsu, so he's like, you're free to go. And, Natsu starts asking, what are you doing in the stands? Where's Fairy Tail? Why aren't they in the tournament? And Lucy breaks the news to him. He's all pissed off. Why'd the old man do it? Come on, where's Urza? Where's Gray? Where is everybody? And Lucy says to him, you left us. You have the right to be asking these kinds of questions after you left without even saying goodbye? Just dropping off that stupid note? So they make their way back to Lucy's apartment here. This fucker starts scratching on the walls. What did I just say, cat? Look at him. So, I kind of like Natsu. Let's go back a minute just for his entrance. Let's see. He looks pretty badass with the longer hair. And again, similar to what they did with Wendy, let's get a haircut. So, anyway. So everyone's, going to bed for the night. Happy has a little pillow. Natsu's on the couch, and he's like, oh, let's go in and right out of her. She's asleep, Happy. Aye, sir. And Natsu makes his way in there and sees that everyone, everyone's name is on this board, all drawn together. He's like, oh, she's looking for everybody. What is she doing? Just looking at her peacefully. He's not gonna draw on her there. And then Lucy wakes up and hears a ruckus outside. What's going on? Why is there a regiment of soldiers outside? Let's go, Lucy. Look at him. He just grabs her and jumps out the fucking window. Oh my god. Put me down. Look at him go. Look at his face. I love Lucy's my favorite character in this whole series. And I guess the Natsu-Lucy dynamic is so fun, man. So much fun. I put up a great big sign. Fairy Tail's coming back together. So he wrote Fairy Tail and Fire on the whole castle. And the king says, I won't be pressing charges. Because the king likes Natsu. But even something as heinous as this, all his vandalism. And then even Jason, good luck, Lucy. We're going to get everyone back together. And again, just look at their faces right here. Come on, Lucy, let's go. That's how our newest adventure began. So, Lucy has like a new makeover too. I tell you what, man, I keep going on how great she is, but I'm a sucker for like the high socks and everything, and oh my goodness. But they're making their way over here to the village of Tully and trying to recruit the other members, find out where they are, and Natsu, he hears something. He's like, hold on a second, Lucy, and he like fires his fire dragon roar right between her legs. Look at Lucy's face too. What are you doing? And it's some villains out there. So Natsu starts chasing after them and takes them down real quick. And they find out that Lamia Scale is actually in this town. In the town of Marguerite. And they're performing their Thanksgiving Day festival. To which they see Leon here using his ice to summon these ice birds for all the kids. You got this idiot, Toby, who's still only wearing one sock, and he has the other sock as his necklace. That was like the joke during the Grand Magic Games. You know, Obaba Baba Sama, I think that was her name, the guild master, and she's doing a dance. No one's cheering for her. She's like, I'll take it all off then. No, you won't, old lady. And then the Sky Sisters show up, and this is where we find Wendy. So after the guild disbanded, you know, Wendy had to find another place to go, so she decided to join Lamia Scale with her friend Sharia. And Natsu and Happy, what do you mean? What is she doing? So they sing a little song. They're like the J-pop stars, I guess. And then Carla shows up, and she's able to transform into like a human now, like a cat girl. Natsu, Lucy, and male cat. Oh, I mean Happy. So then it cuts to this fucker, to be continued, where he says, this night the iron hammer of justice falls on Lamia, and bloody Thanksgiving will commence. See, he's a snake with his tongue. But there's the afterword, and again, another great volume in my opinion. What's this, Fairy Tale Blue Minstrel? What is this? I guess this is like a side story of Wendy. Oh, let's check that out. But, yeah, great bookend for an excellent arc. Some things, you know, if referred by other reviews, I did have some criticism with some things being rushed. But overall, I mean, the stakes that were involved in this arc were tremendous. Just everyone coping with their loss, you know. Natsu coping with the loss of his father. This moment here with Gray and Juvia hugging each other. And, you know, Urza and Jalal, which hopefully we see Jalal in the final arc. Because with this series now, there's only one arc left. Natsu leaving. And then Lucy, like, trying to move on, but still holding on to finding her friends again. And dude, just anytime there's interaction with Natsu and Lucy is just so much fun, man. The two of them are great together. Where's the one where he's, like, jumping out of the window? Yeah, he's jumping out. Let's go, Lucy. Come on, we gotta go. And her new outfit is really cute, too. Isn't it? Look at her. And there's like a famous GIF. Let me see if I can find it. Of the wink here. Which you can find online. And I probably posted it before, too. So, you know, great stuff, man. I loved it. Thank you all for watching. Tell me what you thought in the comments down below. And stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Have a great day, everybody.